I found this manual juice at a local supermarket selling for around 1500 shillings and wondered whether it's a cheaper alternative to an electric juicer. So I went out and tested it with different fruits and vegetables to see how it performed. I've found similar juicers being sold online, so if you're thinking of getting one, this review is for you. This is called the Ganesh Extreme Fruit and Vegetable Juicer. It comes with various parts separated, so you'll need to put it together before you can juice anything. This is the part you use to press whatever you're juicing into the teeth of the juicer. This is a small plastic jar that the juice flows into. And this is the arm that you manually rotate to work the juicer. Almost all the parts are plastic, including the teeth that crush the fruits and vegetables, but it feels like good quality plastic. Assembling the juicer takes less than a minute, and then you're ready to go. These teeth do most of the work. As you rotate the arm, they crush fruits and vegetables against a metal sieve. The juice then comes out through this opening and into the jar. Now let's get started juicing some stuff. I started with apples. I expected they were going to be easy to juice since they are crunchy, so easy to crush, and they're also juicy. You have to cut them up into small pieces that will fit in the hopper. The apple pieces were easy to crush. I didn't have a hard time rotating the handle, and you can see the juice came out easily. But I encountered several major limitations with this manual juicer. For one, it jams very easily no matter what you're juicing. You'll see it as well with other fruits and vegetables. And you can't reverse the juicer to try and get rid of the jam. Anytime I tried turning the handle backwards, this thing at the end popped off. But the biggest issue is that this juicer is incredibly wasteful. You get very little juice for your apples, and the pulp you get at the end is still crunchy and full of juice. You can see how even after finishing juicing, there's still so many pieces of apples left inside the juicer. And no matter how many times you try and turn the handle, this won't juice at all. So you end up wasting a lot of fruits. By the way, I hadn't discovered that this juicer has a suction base, and it made all the difference. You activate suction by pressing the juicer down and then turning this knob. Once it's active, the juice is not going anywhere. We were pretty disappointed with how the Ganesh juicer handled the apples. Let's see how it does with other fruits. Pineapples were easy to juice, and they didn't clog up the mesh sieve too much. But we encountered the same problem we've been experiencing with all the fruits, wastefulness. It may seem like the pineapples are producing a lot of juice, but the pulp that's coming out at the end is still very wet and still holds a lot of juice. You'd have to juice a lot of pineapple to get just a cup of juice. Oranges were also easy to juice, but again, the juice is unable to extract as much liquid as possible from the pulp, so the pulp still comes out very wet. The juicer did a better job with the pears, probably because they are hard and crunchy. The pulp was a bit more dry than with other fruits. On the downside, it took more effort to juice pears. Here is where the suction base really helps. Next, we tried some melon pieces. Now, they were extremely easy to juice, and the yield was decent, but we felt the juicer could have done a better job extracting a lot more liquid from the pulp. We also juiced some grapes, seedless of course. While we found the grapes really easy to juice, the juicer was again very wasteful, and we got very little juice. Overall, the Ganesh juice is average at best when it comes to juicing fruits. Now let's try some vegetables. Here, the juicer did worse than we expected and eventually broke down. We started with celery and we were pleasantly surprised. We got a decent amount of juice and the pulp coming out at the end was mostly dry. The main challenge with celery was that it was really difficult to juice, it took a lot of effort, and it also clogged the juicer easily. Yeah, the pulp coming out is not the prettiest thing to look at. Next up was broccoli, and it was a disaster. It was really difficult to juice, and we got very little juice. Carrots were also difficult to juice, and we were not impressed by how much juice we got. There's still so much liquid left in the pulp. Then we tried to make some kale juice, and that's when the juicer finally broke on us. It was doing a decent job until the top part suddenly snapped. We tried to fix it, but this one is a goner. Overall, we do not recommend getting a manual juicer. It is difficult to use with most fruits and vegetables, it clogs easily, and it's also a pain to clean. But all that would be acceptable if this juicer did its job well. It does not. It's wasteful and produces very little juice compared to an electric juicer. You're better off spending more money on an electric juicer. Get a centrifugal juicer if you're on a budget, or a more expensive masticating juicer if you want higher performance. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Shopping Guide for more reviews, product tests, and buying advice.